Appreciate everybody being here. Good start to the week. Short turnaround, obviously, but right back to it. Guys are in good spirits and working hard today. We're looking forward to the opportunity on Sunday to get at it in Kansas City with the Chiefs, who we have great respect for. Been a lot of fights and battles there against them, and it's always a big challenge. So we're going to get ready and be prepared to go play our best football game of the year. That's what we're hoping to do, and that's what we're working for. What questions do you have?
John, after falling to 1 and 2, and like you said, Kansas City is obviously a tough place to play. What is kind of the message that you've kind of told the players in the meeting?
Yeah, we're just locked in on trying to play the best football we can. We're still in the process of developing ourselves as a football team. We do a lot of good things, and we do a lot of not good things. That's the way it is for every team in the league right now. Nobody's playing perfect football. It's early in the season. We're playing some good football teams. I mean, that's a good thing because that forces you to be your best. And you can't worry too much about any kind of record or anything like that at this point. There's a long season and a lot of games to be played. But what kind of team we become is really the important thing right now, and that's really what we're focused on.
How do you, after looking at the film, how do you repair the run defense from what you've seen?
We'll be okay. We'll be fine. There's a lot of real simple things that we didn't do very well at times. We'll have the same play, really against the same defense 2 different times, and one time it's no game because we're pretty much exactly where we're supposed to be, and another time we're not where we're supposed to be. And I think part of it's just trying to do too much sometimes. I mean, sometimes we try to do more than our job, and that's not really required. So that's playing with a little more just calmness and belief in the whole structure and the 10 guys around you. Then also tackling in the back end. That's the other thing. It's like those runs, they shouldn't go to what they did. I mean, those runs should be tackled, 8-10 yards if they break through the line, and we'll be focusing on that as well.
John, especially with the run defense, is that sort of, when you get together as a team, is that something where the coaches have to kind of tell hard truths, or is it kind of a situation where guys have already looked at film, they're already sort of self-assessing and taking accountability?
Well, I think it's both. Yeah, the guys definitely self-assess and definitely look at it, and they've seen it, and the coaches, we all speak hard truth all the time about everything we do. One of our biggest points of emphasis here is we confront everything that has to do with football, and it's what you got to do. You got to be right out about it. It's we're a football team, so everything that has to do with football is going to get talked about and worked on, because we all want to be on the same page, and we want to play our best football together. And it's a team sport. Everybody's got to be working together, and that's what you're chasing all the time. And you're doing it against an opponent that's trying to separate you. They're trying to move you out of a gap or a hole. They're trying to fool you and get you out of position. If you're on defense, that's the competitive nature of the game. It's what makes it so great. And so it's a big challenge. It's tough to do, and communication and being willing to confront every aspect of the football is really the important thing. We don't take anything for granted that way. We talk about everything. We look at everything. We self-assess all the time. We try to be our own best critic in every aspect of what we do, coaches and players, and try to embrace that. So our guys uniquely do a real good job of that. I really like our team that way. I think they're really, really, really good at that, and that's why I feel very confident that we're going to continue to improve as a football team.
John, along those lines, with some of the simple things you're talking about, and adjustment or trying to do too much, is that a matter of adjustments in the game, or is that a matter of just simple execution by the guys in the field?
It's execution on the field. Yeah, it's definitely execution. That's why I say it's not the simplest thing in the world. It's not like you're going against cones. You're going against really good players who are executing really good schemes really well, and it's happening really fast. And processing football is a challenging thing, and you're up against a good physical opponent that's playing well. So that's football. That's the National Football League. That's how it is. And to think you're going to go out there every game and be perfect, we actually do think that. We actually try to do that. That's our goal. But we weren't up to par in the run defense part of it. So we'll look at it, and we'll fight real hard to get better.
John, do you know anything more about Nnamdi's situation? And are you concerned this may be a long-term thing?
Well, yeah, I would say I am concerned about it, but I'm not really in a position to comment on it right now. I haven't been given the okay to comment on it at this point. So he's not going to play this week, I can tell you that. And we're going to have to see going forward when they know what they need to know.
John, we noticed there were 2 defensive linemen added to the practice squad today. Are you concerned with the other guys that missed today might be unavailable, Travis Jones or Broderick Washington?
You know, I mean, anything's possible. I'm not per se, but they're nursing some things. We're only less than 48 hours out from the end of the game, so that's. I have a good feeling about those guys, but we'll have to wait and see.
John, talked about run defense. On the other side of the ball, you guys probably have not run the ball the way that you wanted to the last couple of weeks. When you looked at the tape there, similar thing, just a lot of details to be cleaned up, or what was your takeaway on that?
It wasn't really. No, I mean, there's definitely things that we can clean up and be better at, and be on the same page about that we'll work on. We can block things better. Again, they're committed to stopping it. But we've also run it against that quite a bit in the past, so we don't really say that that's going to preclude us from running the ball just because they put a defense up there that's meant to stop the run. So it's a lot of same things. I mean, it's just a matter of just trying to improve and get better and work hard and be the best we can be. We're against a good opponent, So, and we've got another good opponent this week.
Now, as you watch Patrick Mahomes now, maybe compared to earlier, how's he evolved into the quarterback that he is?
I mean, has he evolved? I mean, it seems like he's always been great. I can't remember a time that he wasn't Patrick Mahomes. He's the same quarterback to me. He's I'm sure he's improved in some little areas that Andy could tell you about, but he's the same problem when you try to defend him. It's the same issues. He's just capable of making incredible plays. I think they build the offense around him really well. It's also well principled offense in terms of just fundamental football and all that, but it's built for the quarterback, and the quarterback operates really well in it, and obviously he's just talented and makes a bunch of plays, and we're going to have to deal with it.
John, what issues have you seen with the red zone offense to this point?
What issues have I seen with the red zone offense? Well, we try to score touchdowns as best we can. We got inside the 5-yard line. I think they stopped us in some runs. That's the biggest thing I saw last week. We got stopped on coming off the 1-yard line, so we're disappointed with that. We'd like to get that ball in there. We didn't block those plays particularly well. I think we got outplayed probably at point of attack a couple times right there, and that's what happened.
Along those lines, are you considering any changes on the offensive line, or you kind of like what you have?
Well, I mean, the offensive line, you look at the grades. I look at Coach Warhop's grades. They're pretty good. I mean, if you look at the whole game, Coach had those guys playing pretty darn well, and so that one series was disappointing, but we just try to get better and improve, and that's what we're doing.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Derrick Henry said he's his own worst critic when talking about the fumblings this season. When it's a player like that with that resume, how do you even coach up or talk to him, discuss moving forward to not do that?
Yeah, I mean, Derrick doesn't need that. Like as he said, he's his own worst critic. I like to say he's his own best critic. I think he is very, very accountable. And, when somebody cares so much about what they're doing, and they're so accomplished and so talented and so good and work so hard, as a coach you just can't worry about that. I don't worry about that. I think that he wants to be his best even more than I want him to be great, and I want him to be great really a lot. I mean, there's a really great to a high degree that I want all of our players to play at the highest level. And when you got players that feel even more strongly about it than the coach does, well, they should, because it's their career, right? They're the owner of their career. But he certainly does. And I'm not worried about Derrick Henry at all.
John, to go back to what you were talking about earlier about the OL having pretty good grades for George Warhop, that being said, 7 sacks of Lamar, is there something structural that can be adjusted in the offense to put a little less heat on him in some of those dropbacks?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things that you do. We look at all those things as a coach. We're going to turn over every stone in terms of what we have a lot of offensive options. There's a lot of things we do in our offense, and I'm sure that we'll be pursuing. In any one game. I mean, that's what you do. That's a game-to-game thing, and we've been down this road before. I think we had the same conversation last year, so we'll be fine. We're going to play really good on offense. I promise you. We're going to play really good. So our offensive line is going to play really good, and they're going to block people too, because we're going to work really hard at it. And we have great coaches and great players, and I believe in those guys.
Circle week back at practice for Isaiah Likely. Hopes to have him perhaps in the lineup this week?
Yes, I do. I don't know what else to say.
How big of a role could he have having not played?
He could have a huge role, Jerry. He could be out there every snap, or he might not be. It's hard to say. But he's out there practicing. I mean, just in all seriousness, he's out there practicing. He looks good. He had a good day, but we weren't at full speed today. So we'll see how he does tomorrow when we get up to speed, and I'm looking forward to that.
Have you felt the need to be any more involved, I guess, than usual on the defensive side of the ball to this point?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always involved in the defense. I don't know if I could be more involved. You know, it's with every part. I try to be that kind of a head coach. Try to be involved in everything, offense, defense, and special teams, but also give people an opportunity to do their job. You know, and give them the leeway to make a lot of decisions, which our guys do a great job of. But it's always done in a conversation. You know, we're talking, confronting everything we do. So I'm not worried about our defense either. I mean, I'm very determined, just like all the guys are, to pursue excellence. That's what we do, you know. So we're not wringing our hands about it. Bitterly disappointed, sure, of course, you know. But we play next week. You know, we'd be playing on Sunday, and we'd be playing the Sunday after that too, and the Sunday after that. And all those Sundays are going to be what determines the season. So we know we can do something about it. You go out there and you go play, and you play well. So our coaches know what they're doing, our players know what they're doing, and we'll be out there competing. We will show up, I promise you, and we will be ready to play, and that's how we do it. And the track record is proven along those lines.
Two more.
John,
with as many explosives as you had with Derrick Henry and even Lamar, is it surprising that the down-to-down consistency of the run game hasn't been, you know, what it was like even early last year?
Well, I think it's not. I think it's hard. You know, you can't. If the expectation that you're kind of, if you're going to set the standard at the expectation that is going to be perfection, you're going to run for 300 yards every week, and if you don't do that, then you're not up to par. I just think that's kind of unrealistic. You know, there's going to be games where you're going to run the ball. There's going to be games you're going to pass the ball. There's going to be games you're going to get the ball downfield. There's going to be games that are not going to let you do that. You're going to throw it short. There are going to be games where you execute more consistently than other games. There are going to be games where you have better game plans than other games. But, you know, if we weren't putting up points, probably be talking about that. But we are putting up points. So that's good, too. Do we want to run better? You're darn right we do. We also want to complete more passes, and we want to have more time of possession. But we look at all that stuff, you know, very, very thoroughly every game plan, and try to do the best we can with it when we go out there and play. But you got to go out there and play. It's tough. You know, it's a competitive league.
Good.
All set? Great, thanks.
Thank you, John.